God has blessed me with an amazing man who does care about his family. He does, he's very talented. He's smart, and I stress smart because I didn't want someone who I had to keep on, like, I don't know, like, what am I trying to say?
She didn't want to have to carry you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That would kill me if I had to carry a man. Like, it would kill me. So I'm very, very grateful. I feel like God has really blessed me with my soulmate.
Hi, my name is Roxanne.
And this is Laz.
And this is the Family Dinner Podcast. Well, we'll be talking about family, relationships, love, and our relationship with God and everything else under the sun. We hope that you enjoy.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We're finally here.
Yes. So for people who don't know you guys, tell us a little bit about who you are. Like, what's your story?
So our story. So my name is David. This is my wife Jazz, or Jasmyn. So we actually met in 2020. We met at our church annual medical day. So I was like coordinating it, and the reason I knew of Jasmyn was I knew her sister, and they ran a business together that made like vegan desserts. And so, part of the medical day is, encouraging healthier eating. So, these sweets are, healthier. They have more plant-based. They're plant-based, and they have like vegetables incorporated. So I invited her and her sister to come be a vendor there. But the funny thing is I'd heard about Jasmyn before this from her sister. We have a mutual friend from college, and so we were celebrating her birthday. My brother had gotten out of a relationship that I didn't like many months before, and she had gotten out, and so just hearing about it, I was like, oh, she sounds like she has a good head on her shoulders, like, she probably let her and my brother, meet up, see if, something comes from it. And then over the next few months, I just see posts from her, and then at one point she cooked this meal for her sister. And I saw her, I was like, oh, and she cooks? Yeah, maybe I should meet there.
Actually.
Never met her until medical day. And I was just, I guess, drawn to her. When we reflected, apparently I went around, doing my job, checking out for the vendors. But she said I kind of walked around there a couple times.
Extra smiley. Like, you need anything? Just overly smiling. I was like, I'm good. You want a sample? Like, I have samples. Like.
So we were wrapping up medical day. One of the brothers from the church brings a cupcake because, I was organizing. And so they brought this cupcake to me and it was like, oh, this is from, Jasmyn with the bakery. So I was like, oh, I heard about her. I heard she has good hair and shorts. Maybe I should ask her out. Go over there. She's already packed up and gone. I'm like, man, there it goes. Missed my opportunity.
Missed the shot.
So sitting down there doing whatever. And then I end up getting a text from her just saying thank you, for inviting me. She enjoyed the time there. I'd given her my number before, just, if she had any problems finding the church and whatnot. So I'm basically like, oh, thank you so much for coming out. Not going to miss this opportunity. Would you to, get to know each other?
Oh, I have you.
And so, it's been an awesome time from there, just getting to know each other. We got married right around, or I proposed after we'd been dating for about 2.5 years. We got married pretty soon after, about 6 months after proposing, and now we've been married for about 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's us.
Nice. Any gaps you'd like to fit in, Jasmyn, or is that pretty accurate?
It's pretty accurate. I mean, from my side of the story, I'd heard about his brother, and then I had heard about him as well. But my father's name is actually David, who's not in my life, and I was like, David? No. So it wasn't until like I went to medical day, and I was really impressed when I went. Like I was really shocked that a man, because you actually helped plan the event, and I was shocked that a man could plan this well, because I'm a natural planner myself. And yeah, I was going on a girls trip after like 3 days after medical day, and he had asked me out on a date, and I was like, I mean, we can squeeze it in, but I was like, I'm about to hang out with my girls in Barcelona, so okay. But and yeah, we went on a date. We went on an escape room. Well, we went to an escape room, and then he also looked up 8 restaurants that were like vegan and vegetarian for me, because he thought I was vegan. So he was shocked when I told him I wasn't, but I thought it was really sweet. And yeah, we talked the whole night, and even when I went to Barcelona, which I went for like 10 days, I still was thinking about him, like in our date. And so when I got back, like after like it was right before Trump had like closed everything down, he was like, we should hang out. And I was like, you're not afraid that I have COVID or anything? Because I didn't, but you know, everyone was really scared and terrified. And he was like, I'm a doctor, I'm fine. And I was like,
So trust me.
And so yeah, he really made the pandemic not feel like the pandemic. Like I just felt like we were like just living our best lives in 2020, getting to know each other. So yeah, it's good.
I love that. I feel like there's like so many things to start from. One, I was also shocked when I found out that you weren't vegan.
Yep.
I forget how I think I asked you directly. I think we were hanging out and we were going somewhere. I was like, oh, do you want to find like a vegan spot or something? And I think I remember you saying, oh, I'm not vegan. I was like, girl, what?
Right.
I felt so,
I feel like we should explain why everybody thought that she's vegan.
Yes. So yes, I own a vegan bakery called V-Taste Cakes. So I'm not vegan. However,
So you hear it live.
right. I know. I was like, I feel pressure saying this. But there are reasons as to why I started this. So I actually grew up baking my whole life, and I had a lot of family members with health issues, and I actually competed in a competition to see if I could make something more sustainable and better for the environment. And I was like, I wonder if I could make desserts plant-based that actually taste good and look good, that everyone can enjoy. And after winning the competition from that, I learned that there was a huge need for it. Like there were, at the time, like 5 years ago, this is before people even knew what vegan was. There was just a lot of people who never had a birthday cake before, who were getting married, or who had certain allergies, or just, you know, were trying to be healthier in general. And they were shocked when they actually tried my cakes. And so, yeah, ever since then, I've kind of branched out from just being like a cupcake business to a full-line bakery. So I do actually eat plant-based. It's just not all the time. I think food is good in moderation. However, I was just like, with my actual company, I want it to be better for the environment and something everyone can enjoy. So yeah.
Thank you for that.
When I found out you weren't vegan, I was blown up. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I
You
remember.
are so judgy. Like
I remember. I went on
I think I
Instagram.
told you.
But I think you told me. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, it's V-Taste
Oh,
Cakes.
no,
And then I
I
went on Instagram. I'm like, it's a vegan place, right?
Okay, we're gonna move on from this because I don't want you to feel. Don't feel bad. Well, we were playing a game. It was at church. It was at the pad, and it was like one of the questions. It was like an icebreaker, like find somebody that's vegan. And so I think
Everybody ran.
yeah, everybody's looking for me. And I was like, no, she's not.
I was like, nobody in here is? Like,
So that was so funny, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so thanks for sharing that, and thanks for setting the record straight. But kind of like jumping from that, so just to like set the record. So you guys are married now, and Jasmine, you kind of talk about like what you do, what you have with V-Taste Cakes. So David, can you kind of share what you do professionally as well?
Okay.
And then we'll kind of talk about you guys being married and what both of you do impacts your marriage.
Yeah, so like I said, I helped with this medical day. So I was in medical school at the time. Since then, I've completed residency. I'm a family medicine trained primary care physician. I work at Morehouse School of Medicine. And so, my day consists of, seeing patients, from, we say, womb to tomb. So from all the way from childbirth all the way to geriatric patients. and then I also have some administrative time that I do some clinical informatics, which is basically like medicine meets technology. So like AI in medicine, we use the electronic medical record systems, and so I'm of course seeing patients, but also doing a little bit of work in that area too.
Very cool, very nice. I didn't know where you worked, so good to know.
I also want to say, I tell my friends I know doctors. By doctors, I mean you. I'm like, yeah, my friend, he's a doctor. He's a... So, yeah, I just want you to know that. Carry on.
Nice. So, David, with you being a physician, Jasmyn, with you being an entrepreneur and business owner, how does that impact your marriage? Just with you all being married, it's been 2 years now.
It's gonna be 2 years in June. So
2 years in June.
about a year.
That's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think so originally with dating, like, and it's still great, but it was just very different. It worked because we are both very busy people, so it was great dating someone who could understand that, like, I really am working, I can't text back that fast, or like same vice versa. But with marriage, I think it's also like brought up, like, we are very independent people individually, and so I think it's like making us realize, like, becoming one is a little bit harder. You really have to be intentional with it. And I enjoy the challenge with it. I think it's just like I never realized like how independent I was. Like, I've just been so used to doing everything like by myself, or like, but I think marriage like makes you learn that, it's a partnership, and like really trying to map what that looks like.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I always joke around, people think of like a position and all the training that you do, and that you're like always super busy, but I'm like, because I'm with an entrepreneur, it's like the one person that I could say, actually, I'm not that busy, like, she makes me look like, I can leave my, turn off work versus, when you're dating an entrepreneur, all aspects of the business are on them. So I think this is like, it brought a nice balance where, I was busy, but I was also with someone who was also very busy. A little bit more busy, I would say. So just finding that balance, I think we continue to find, a better and better way to do it. So just, finding time. I enjoy quality time. So, just being around her is awesome for me. So just making sure, even though we're so busy and have long days, early mornings, that we find time where we can, get together, try to basically eat dinner together every single night. So just little ways that we continue to stay connected.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a journey.
So I have two questions. So one, we'll start with the first one. Like, what does your schedule looks like? Because I'm imagining your doctor, your schedule
chaos
is crazy. That's what I assume in my mind. And then as an entrepreneur, I assume your schedule is really whatever. It could be one on Monday, and then Tuesday it could be something completely different. So how do you schedule that? Because I'm picturing our shared calendars and all of the different colors. Like how do you guys make that work?
Yeah, so funny enough, we go about it very differently. So David is a calendar person. I'm more so a person, it's in my head, but it's locked in. And so as far as schedule-wise, gratefully so, since I've been in business almost 6 years, I do have more of a consistent schedule. However, it is like super filled up. So with David, since, you're kind of done with like, your actual physician now, his like schedule is pretty much the same. So he's kind of like adapted his schedule with mine. So I'm always waking up early. Like I always wake up around 5:30 in the morning, and he wakes up every other day, not at that time. Not because he has to, but he literally wakes up because he feels bad because I have to wake up. So he'll play basketball and play some type of sport or something while I'm like getting ready for work. He's also getting ready to go play like a sport. So
and she only found out about this like the other day. So like she said, I wake up around 5 Monday, Wednesday, Friday to go play basketball. But the reason I was like so consistent about it because she wakes up so early for her business. You know, one time she told me, "Oh, it's nice having you be up and doing stuff at the same time." And so, you know, I heard that. I never told her, but then I was like, okay.
'Cause he be knocked out, and I was like sleeping so peacefully, and I'm like,
You just hate that. It's like,
right,
let's
like,
be nice.
Or David's like let's stay up and watch this show, and I'm just like I'm tired. Like I was like I have to go to bed, and David's like he's so much like go with the flow, and so I think with him waking up earlier now has kind of helped, him be like, all right, we're gonna go to bed at this time, because it'd be more so like in the beginning it's me like being like I have to go to bed, and then it'd be like just like not in like pressure in a pressurous way, but it was more so like just being like let's stay up and watch something. I'd be like I haven't watched TV all day, so I'm like yeah, and then the next day I'm like David's like sleeping peacefully, and I'm like slaving away trying to get ready. So that's been helpful. And then also us being intentional, like every Friday we do have a date night. For the most part it's at home, but we leave it kind of spontaneous as well, like to actually go out somewhere, and we like alternate who's actually planning it. And so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my schedule, pretty much more stable. So my clinic is open from like 8 to like 5 p.m. So my full clinic days are on Tuesday, on Thursdays. So those are the days where I definitely, couldn't play basketball even if it was going on. So those days I get to wake up a little bit later. But on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I wake up at 5 a.m., play basketball, and then go into work after, and then go till about 5 p.m. or so.
Yeah. I remember one day we were talking about like playing basketball and things like that, and then David invited me to come play basketball, and I was like, oh yeah, what time? He said 5 a.m.
Isn't that amazing?
Safe to say, I never went. Like we've never talked about. We've never talked about that a day after that. I said, please miss me. Do not take.
It's always funny because when I invite people, I always have to make sure it's no pressure. I know that time is crazy, but if you ever have a day where you're feeling motivated,
I'm up at 5 a.m.
And it's a lot of people too. Like I find it so crazy. Like you've really shown me like black men are stepping it up. Like y'all all getting up at 5 a.m. to play basketball. And it's like 10 to 12 people, right?
At least 10. We need 10 to play the game. So it's consistent. We have people who are fathers, people who are in the same stage as me, married but no kids or anything, people who are single. D-Mac from
D-Mac be going
been
too.
consistent for the last few months.
Right.
Yeah.
D-Mac be going. Zay be going sometimes. I'm like, yo, 5
Pete
a.m.
comes out like Jay. So
goodness.
yeah, it's a good time.
They told me that thing immediately went over my head. Look, don't even put me in the group chat. I'm not even gonna act like I'm gonna go. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. So the second question, I'm trying to figure out how to put it. With it being Valentine's Day, what advice would you have for someone who's single? I think somebody asked that question today. Who's trying to get, start dating and get married, but also trying to figure out their own life, whether they're in med school or whatever the case may be. And they can think like, oh, it's going to be smooth and everything's going to be great and everything's going to work well together. What advice would you have for said person, right, who is still pursuing their career, whether they're an entrepreneur or they're a doctor, which I don't think there's too many other professions that's more demanding, right, outside of lawyers and, to me, doctors and lawyers, they always working and reading something. So what advice would you have for someone who's listening and they're single, they're trying to figure out their career?
I think what comes to mind for me was take off the pressure and I would say just be a little more laid back and just have fun. I think before I met David, I was like in that similar state. Like I was still very much so trying to push my own business or whatever I was really trying to focus on. But then I was also really trying to be super intentional with dating. However, I feel like you become hyper focused and you can kind of take the fun out of it versus like just remembering like, you are a catch in itself and just, I think just taking the pressure off yourself that like I have a certain time frame or anything like that. Like once I kind of took those things off and started really just like focusing more on life and enjoying life. Like, really not being like, oh, I need to get married, or like, oh, this is coming up, but really just focusing like, okay, like, I'm working on this and I'm open. I think that's another thing, being very open too. Because even with me and David, we were both very open in that incident. Like we said, we knew of each other. We never met. We could have met so many other times, but we didn't. And so for us to actually meet in that night, like, even for me to text him, like, that's out of character for me. Like, but I was just like, I was really grateful he invited me to the event. I was supposed to go with my sister. She ended up canceling with me because I didn't know anyone. But originally, I would have been like, I'm not going because I don't know anyone. But I was just like, no. I was just like, he seems like a great guy. My sister knows of him, and it's for a church event. So I was like, I can at least show up. So I think just being open to different opportunities that are around you and not shooting anything down. Because, like I said, I was going to Barcelona. Like, I really didn't have a reason to really even go out with you. Because I was just like, I was like, I'm about to turn up with my friends. Like, I really wasn't even, like, looking at that point. Like, at that point, I was actually done with men. Not in a way, like, I'm dating women. Sorry, let me clarify. That's never the argument. To be clear, I was done with trying to date at that moment. I was just like, because I had went on some terrible dates prior to that, and I was like, I'm just trying to be out with my friends and enjoy life. And I feel like that's when God blesses you, when you're not being hyper-focused and you're also being open. Because, like, what are the odds of us even meeting at that moment and, like, of us even thinking of each other and where we're at today? So
She's like, the guy in these dreads.
You didn't have box
I didn't.
Oh, no.
She put me on.
No, you didn't.
He has really pretty hair, and I was like, you should grow your hair out. Yeah. He was like you. He was like you.
He was on the fence.
Like,
Understood.
He was like, I don't want to do it. And I was like, you can always cut it off. That's what you do already.
She did say that. Right. Yeah. Made sense. For me, I would say, like she was saying, sometimes we can get, hyper focused on dating. I think the best thing is to continue to do things that you enjoy. I was just, helping to plan this medical day. She said she was impressed and everything. I was just doing something that I enjoyed, And so, when you do stuff that you enjoy, you can find people who share interests that are similar to you. It was, medical day. It was also at my church. So someone who's, invested in that. I think a lot of times people can think they have to meet people outside of the stuff that they normally do, which I think can be counterproductive. You think you should do more of what you enjoy because when you do, a relationship, it's a friendship. And so you want, to have a friendship built on something that you actually enjoy doing. Whether that be, sports or, reading or, being involved in various hobbies or activities, I think that's a good place to start. I think that's what I would say. A lot of people, you don't even like the bars, but you go to the bars because you think that's where you'll meet someone. I don't think that's necessarily the most efficient way to go about it. If you enjoy doing something, you go do that and just be open in those type of environments to meeting someone. So
yeah. There's hope. There's hope, but just don't focus in too much on it. Like, live life.
It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, like you guys are secure in who you are individually as a person, who's a whole person.
Yeah.
And then, like, you are secure in who you are as a doctor and who you are as an entrepreneur, and then come together as a team. Because I think you said something earlier that I liked, where you were like, I wasn't just waiting. Like, I can't text you back right away, right? Sometimes I talk to my coworkers and they be like, oh my goodness, like, she never texts me back, but I see her online. I'm like, fam, you at work. Like, I need you to go out there and you over here talking about this.
Yeah.
So I like that. I do think it's important to you yourself being secure, being happy in who you are, and pursuing the things that you want to pursue. And then when the time comes and God brings you that person, you be ready.
You're
right. I
right.
really like that.
Yeah, I also like what you said, David, just about, like, one, shout out to Medical Day.
Fellow planner.
As a fellow planner of Medical Day, shout out to Medical Day. You can find your wife
Amen.
at Medical Day. Amen. So shout out. Also, I think it was really cool what you said about like, finding finding like-minded people at the things that you already enjoy, and not necessarily going out of your way like to like a bar or to places that you feel like you should be going to find like people that you would want. Because I see a lot of like conversations about like, oh, I need to like all the fine guys at the gym, so I need to be going to the gym.
These run clubs.
Or yeah, or
Like,
all
you
the
don't
fine
even
guys.
like running.
You don't even like running, but
Yeah.
you want to go to
Yeah.
the run clubs. You're gonna be out of breath. You're gonna be like in a bad mood.
Now you dating and all he want to do is run. Now what?
Right, so now you upset. You don't even like him. He just cute, and you just like now you mad the whole time. And so I just think that just goes to show like where are your values, even when you're thinking about building a relationship or building a friendship with someone. So starting at a place of like being genuine at the beginning, I think is like really important. And I think that's kind of like what you both like shared like from the beginning. So shout out to y'all. So I just wanted to like reemphasize that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I was just really listening to y'all. I forgot, that we were, we were doing a podcast.
Your podcast.
Yeah, it looked like you had some points that you wanted to share.
No. I typically usually have like some notes or just some things in mind. We've off that already. Like, what are you guys working on? Like, what are you guys looking forward to? Whether it's with the business, with work.
Yeah. I think as a couple, we're, like I said, we are striving to become more as one and to do things as one. Like, I'll notice, like, and it's just small things. Like, me and David, we both serve a lot in different ways in the people in our lives. However, it's just, like, we're always, like, on separate sides of the room. Like, I love that you guys are always, like, together. Like, it's, like, kind of weird to see just one of you guys. Unless, like, we know the other person's doing something. And so for me and David, like, we're just trying to be more intentional with, like, showing up together and doing things together. As well as we're trying to find more couples that we can look up to. We both come from, like, families of divorce. And so we are really just trying to be intentional on, like, what do we want our future to kind of look like and, like, people that we inspire to kind of be like or, like, just have a great example of. So that's us as a couple. Outside of, like, separately, for me, I'm really trying to focus better on self-care. As a small business owner, I'm sure as most people know, you can neglect yourself. And so trying to do a better job. And we were talking about hobbies, so trying to do more hobbies. We are also reading the Bible, like the full Bible this year together.
Nice.
So it's been years since I've read the whole Bible, but it hits so different. Just because, like, we're older and more mature, and, like, I think there's so many, like, small details that are, like, coming out. Like, I didn't even know, like, even in the book of Job that dinosaurs were brought up at one point. I don't know if anyone knows that, but
And I will be looking
yeah, like, it was actually God talking to Job at a certain point, and he brought up, like, this creature, beast that, like, people couldn't, like, really kill, and I was like, is that a dinosaur? So, it's pretty cool to look back on, but those are the main things. And then, of course, my business is really just maintaining in this new year. I think a lot of things have changed, but I'm grateful things have been consistent there, and I'm actually been growing. So really just trying to continue to stay, like, faithful with God and make sure I'm moving with attention versus focusing on the growth of it, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would agree, with all of that. I think, in addition, we're both, different people that now have come together as one. So just continue to refine that, being married. It's interesting, as someone who's had life experiences before you, 20 plus years, 20-something years over here. So it's just funny to see just the different ways she might think about something versus how I think about something. And, within that, sometimes there can be little miscommunications and stuff that can occur just from that. But there's no right or wrong answer per se. It's just learning about this person, learning how I can continue to be a better spouse to this person. So I think that's one thing that I'm trying to focus more on us together, just, I guess growing growing in our togetherness, I would say. And other aspects of that are like, she stated, when we go to places together, interact together, because we've had life experiences where we've just done stuff, and we're both leaders in our own fields, and in the church and at home and everything. So just continuing to grow in those areas is
Right.
it's quite complex. I guess I don't even know if I've explained it probably there, but individually, I think being married to someone, she's very what's the word, eloquent. She can really express her thoughts and her feelings. And I feel that, I can blame it on being a guy, but, but I feel like, it's definitely an area that I need to grow in. I can
Right.
a lot of times just be in my head, she might say something and I thought about it, and I'm thinking about it, but I don't express that. And to her, it might come off as, he's not even thinking about it. But then it's like, no, I got this. And then then finally when she points, it's like, oh, you haven't, no. And then I tell her, okay, I've already thought this. And then she's like, but I didn't communicate that or anything. So just growing in, being more communicative, and being more emotionally aware and available. And outside of that, professionally, just continue to be, excellent at what I do. I'm still a relatively new, attending physician. So, finding my footing in that area, and just, continuing to grow. And then I also really value work-life balance. So, continuing to, play basketball. I play pickleball now. I do workouts. So, making sure I'm still doing the things that I enjoy and that bring, fill my cup up outside of, work. So, yeah.
Adulting.
Yeah. Hashtag adulting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's no handbook. You're just making it up as you go.
I'm like, we're the new adults. It's crazy because you guys really touched on a lot of different things. Whether it's like personal growth and like being married, professionally. It's like, and you got to do all of those things, and you still got to do laundry. Right?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Right, you still got to do laundry. You still got to cook. You still got to clean the house. Like, oh my goodness. So that's like adulting. I had a lot of thoughts about what y'all said, but I wanted to ask you, like, what are we looking forward to?
Yeah, what are you guys looking forward to?
I know you weren't ready because the way you're looking at me. I'll share why you like. I'm looking forward to making like better financial decisions. I don't think we do. I think we do pretty good. But I have a job interview on Thursday, so prayerfully that goes well. So I'm hoping to be able to, like, one of the goals that we have this year is to start investing, like actively investing. It's always been in our budget, and I have stocks at work, and I have a few stocks, but I don't know anything about them. If I want to be completely honest, I just know I bought them and they're there. So I want to be able to actively invest and understand where the money is going and understand how certain things affects like our money and where it's going, and learning ways to be able to make our money grow as opposed to just go to work, save it, because there's a lot of different ways you can prepare for your future, right? Whether you're talking about children in the future or helping out your family or whatever the case may be. So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to. And the reason why I brought up the job interview is, I mean, that's your first stream of income is what's important. So you're not investing if you don't have any jobs. So I think prayerfully that can go well, and that's something that can be a main source of income for us. So that way we can continue to make smart decisions, to be able to learn. There's a lot of people at church who do really well with their finances, right? There's a lot of resources that I think we can overlook, like that I can overlook just because they're peers, like, right? Just because they're friends, and I can overlook that they do really well with their finances, and I can pick their brains.
Yeah.
Right, like I can talk to Ricardo, who has a lot of connections. I can talk to Ed. I can talk to Ray, who, you know what I mean. But because we see him at church, we're serving, we're good friends. It's like I'm like, man, like I think that's what God had in mind when He created the body, so that we can really learn and get advice from each other.
Did you come to our church today? Cause
No,
it was literally
really?
on this. Yeah.
Rick preached.
Yeah.
Ricardo preached. That's
Did
all.
he really?
Yeah, he did.
That's hilarious.
About extreme generosity and like about God and like, you know, I think a lot of people think God doesn't want us to be rich and enjoy the riches that we have, but that's not entirely true.
Right.
And like just trying to change your perspective on it. So, but you can keep going. But
Yeah, no,
it's just really
that's
wild that you're
Cause
saying
I got
this.
together with him maybe a week ago, but I think there's a lot of room to grow in our knowledge when it comes to finances. I don't think our parents necessarily taught us or that they knew. So that's one of the goals that, you know, I'm looking forward to. It's like the more I learn, like the more excited you get. It's like, oh, like I could have been doing this the whole time. Like instead of just keeping my, you know, my savings in my mattress, even I could have put them put it in an index fund, and it would grow. Like, oh, let me just go ahead and take that out. You know what I mean? So it's like the more I learn, the more excited I get. So I think I'm looking forward to that. And
awesome.
so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. For us, we're thinking about doing a couple's trip to a getaway house.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all know what that is. Have you ever been to? They call it's called something else now.
Oh wait, I think you told me
cabins.
about that.
Postcard, yeah. So that was really cool. We went together with just us. So I'm hoping that we can do it together with a few couples, because it was nice. It was really cool. So
Nice.
I think together I'm really looking forward to that.
You're one of the couples that we thought about, so don't think
So,
that we're saying
so
this
if you
and
if you get a text message, just
We'll be looking for it.
What
Yeah.
time of the year are y'all thinking?
It'll be enough time notice.
Okay.
right. We'll try to
Yeah, we're trying to like get some schematics and also space it out from our other travels that we're doing
Okay.
this year. So we're not
Come on, big words.
Right. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that came to mind. Anything?
Yeah, I think some of the things that I'm looking forward to this year is to like getting in the best shape of my life. I feel like last year, I feel like I was on a roll. I was doing really good. Like that 5K that I did last year, I was like,
You did do
I was
that.
like, oh wow, like this is like I was in a different like era. I was in a different. I don't know. I was in a mode. I was like running. I was like consistent. Did the 5K. You know, I went like a month like no meat, just like, you know, fish and like lots of vegetables. Didn't think I could do that. And I was just like really like focused, really like sharp mentally. And I was like, wow. And that was like maybe like 3 months of just like consistently doing that. It wasn't 75 hard, but it was just like, you know, I know I have this 5K coming up, so I need to like be like, you know, really like on my Zoom. So yeah, I just really want to like dedicate this year to really being like in the best of my life and let that set the tone for the rest of my life. Really, because I'm turning 30 this year. So yes.
It's exciting.
So I need to really like set the tone, set the foundation. Not that it's all down the hill from here, but it gets harder to bounce back, just like health wise. You know, the older you get, you know, we got a doctor here, so he can confirm.
Right.
So just want to make sure that I'm setting myself up for success. And you know, just doing those things. I want to get back into therapy, so I want to just do a whole like health thing. So like physically healthy, emotionally healthy. I think last year a lot of things like came up that just like let me know like I was doing good. I was in therapy like I think for maybe like a year or like close to a year, and then I stopped like right before we got married because I needed all my money to go into the wedding. It was no extra funds left. But I think I'm ready to go back in now, especially like now with like a new position at my job, and just like getting older, you know, like family dynamics, ready to get back in to really like, you know, start talking through stuff again, because life is real. So I'd like to do that. Yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to just really being, like kind of like you said, Jasmine, being intentional about life this year and just seeing where that takes me. We talked about hobbies earlier. I want to get into like crafts, just stuff that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you when we're done. I have something in the office. It's like punch needle. It looks like crochet, but it's like slightly different. Me and Jess are gonna meet up this week to like do like crafts together and like just do like a thing. I think it'll be good for like stress and just like take our minds off things. So yeah, so I'm just whole health wellness this year and just doing things that are good for me on all levels. So yeah.
Nice.
I love that.
Nice.
Okay.
But the biopsychosocial model of health.
Excuse me?
Okay, I've read that one time.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure,
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
I did have a final question that I thought of. Because Jasmine, we talk, we text and we've hung out and we've had like our, 2-3 hour long conversations here and there. And, David, we talked to over the years about like family and stuff like that. But, for the podcast. So
This is
to
exclusive.
get it on
right,
record.
this is exclusive.
So just, thinking about like, now that you guys are a family, there's like family of origin, which is the family that you grew up with, but now it's the family that you created together and that you're creating together. How has like the family of origin that you grew up with currently is like impacting the family that you're like creating together? Like, what are some of the things that you guys are like working through, like working out, that are still like coming up like in your family that you're creating? I said a lot of things. Take whatever you want in there.
That is a lovely question, my love.
Yeah.
I realize we never talked about it directly.
I know. That is a deep question. I like that, though. I think for me, now that I'm older and now that we are married and, there is a possibility of us starting our own family one day, I think it's made me realize, like, how intentional my mom and my grandmother were when we were younger, and how I kind of want that. I guess I want it to be consistent throughout our whole lives. Like, family dynamics can change due to a lot of different things, but that is something I kind of want to bring into like our marriage and stuff. And I think that's why even now, like this year, I'm really focusing on being more intentional, because it's not like, going on family vacations or someone like staying up with you and studying, like, because surprisingly, I had a lot of health issues growing up. I was a very overweight kid. It was a lot going on. I wasn't good at school, but thankfully, thanks to my mom and my grandmother, just being very intentional and pouring into me, and not always just going with like, if I went to one doctor, they would be like, this, nothing's wrong with her, but there were like certain things that were wrong, and my mom never gave up on those things. Or even with like school, like, I really struggled with school. I actually had a speech impediment for a long time, and my mom put me in classes for it. However, I did see like the strains of that. She was a single mom, and I saw her kind of lose herself in it just because she didn't have that support. And so now I see, like, even with our relationship, like, I do have support, but also like realizing like, what does that look like? Because I come from very independent women who are strong and hardworking. But also realizing, like, I don't have to do these things. Like, God has blessed me with an amazing man who does care about his family. He does, he's very talented. He's smart. And I stress smart because I didn't want someone who I had to keep on, like, I don't know. Like, what am I trying to say?
She didn't want to have to carry you.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. That would kill me if I had to carry a man. Like, it would kill me. So I'm very, very grateful. I feel like God has really blessed me with my soulmate. So just realizing, like, I want to be that intentional, but I also really have to focus on self-care. And I have to focus on chilling out. Because, like, me and my family, like my original family, we're all, like I said, very independent and workaholics. But I realized, like, I don't have to be that way. And that's And the reason I'm learning that is like through him and also with God. Like God will always provide, and if I really believe that, I can chill out. I can literally chill out. So I think those are the main things for my family. Like, you know, I think we live in a time and day where people aren't that intentional with their kids, and we've kind of seen how that's kind of went. And for me, like, I really do want to be, if I ever become a mother, oh, that kind of scares me. But, and I think that scares me too, because just having a business, I know the responsibility, like that. Yes, it might not be the same thing, but it is a big responsibility.
The business is your baby.
Yeah, it is like a baby.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. So I can only imagine having a child, like showing up in the same way. So I take it very seriously. So I think realizing, like, I really have to make time. And right now I'm just trying to enjoy life, like, enjoy being young, and take that pressure off. Because, like, I feel like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And, yeah, when you get in your 30s, it's not the end of the world. Like, I think some people make it seem like it is. But if you take care of yourself, kind of like you were saying, you'll be fine. So. Yeah, I hope I answered that.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think right now it's just, you know, there's stuff, you know, from my family of origin that I love and that, of course, I'm going to keep incorporating. And then there's also aspects where it's like I can definitely grow and you know, create a better situation for my new family, the family that we're creating. And so, you know, in terms of like, you know, quality time spent together, you know, the aspect of, you know, having meals together. I just grew up with that. I have 2 younger brothers. We always, you know, ate dinner and breakfast together. And I think that's a good thing that we've incorporated into our life now, having dinner, having that time to connect. But then there's other aspects of it where, you know, seeing how Jasmyn is growing up, I can grow in terms of like, you know, being emotionally vulnerable, you know, growing up with 3 guys, you know, we're all just the 3 boys, just, you know, just chilling, you know. But we never, you know, a lot of times we didn't really get into like, you know, deep conversations and stuff like that. I just remember one time when we were still dating, you know, Jasmyn was talking with my brothers, and, you know, she's just asking these insightful, deep questions. And she asks this one, and I'm sitting back like, I don't even know the answers to this. Like, what do you guys have to say? Like, I know, that's a good question. Right. Stuff like that, you know, I can definitely grow in, you know, as, you know, I raise my family. It's not just about simply having that quality time together, but also making sure that we're emotionally available and, you know, connecting on deeper levels, having, you know, difficult conversations that become easier as you have it. But the first time, sure, it can be difficult, but not shying away from that, or just, I guess, being lackadaisical in getting deeper. Outside of that, I think, you know, we continue to do a good job of aspects. You know, we're creating a new family, and so just finding things that we enjoy. You know, a few weeks ago, one of our pastors mentioned, what was the term he said? Recreational togetherness or something like that. But, you know, just doing stuff that you enjoy together. So I know earlier when we were dating, we, you know, work out together and stuff like that. So just finding ways that we can get back to that. You know, she does her dance. I have my basketball and pickleball. You know, I'm not going to bring her out to basketball, but we can play pickleball together, right? So just little ways that we can continue to stay together and enjoy things together. So, yeah. And then also just, I think, growing in, you know, you touched on it, the financial aspect of it. You know, I personally didn't come from you know, rich background or anything like that. So it was mostly just about saving.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Another clarity point.
So, you know, I
because you was like, I didn't come.
I'm not a millionaire.
I didn't either.
But just, you know, I value, you know, sometimes I can, you know, it's easy to to feel like I have to hang on to stuff just because, we didn't have, maybe I can lose it. But even, the sermon that we had today from Ricardo talking about how we can be generous. Our church is doing a home theme, and we're on the E right now, which is excelling in giving. And that can look differently. I think I do a really good job of excelling in giving time and energy and stuff like that. But I can definitely grow in, giving financially too. So just, that's something I know from, growing up, when you didn't have as much, it's like, oh, I gotta save, put it, you never know what's gonna happen, I have to have this nest egg aside. But knowing that I am at a point where I can be more generous as a family, and I think we're doing a good job slowly but surely, and so, it's been fun.
Yeah. That's good. I think I said a lot.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by dictionary.com. With all the SAT words. We got lackadaisical, we got systematic. I just want to throw that in there.
Right.
Putting y'all on. Right.
How about you, babe? Or if you yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, and then I forgot. I just be so into what y'all saying.
Right. I feel like if we like we can talk about this all night, because y'all there was a lot of different things you guys touched on. So
Are we rusty with something? I feel like I don't know. Like, well, I'm forgetting how to do this. But no, this is. I just feel like this is just so good, and I'm just forgetting that we're doing a podcast.
We
don't. The mics are in our face, but I'm just. But yes, I think what I haven't already talked about. We actually were talking about this recently. Just like something that I realized, like with my family, is that if you say something about something that you're working through, or that is kind of like a weak spot, you never know if that thing is going to come back to you somehow by somebody else.
Yeah.
That was something that I kind of like, I didn't like think about it, like, necessarily like with Leslie, like if I said something to him, like if he was going to tell anybody, like I don't think I thought about it, but I think maybe it was in the back of my mind. But so far so good. Like he hasn't told anybody.
Imagine somebody else coming to you. Yeah, your husband said you.
Right, he hasn't told anybody my deepest, darkest secrets. So I feel, incredibly seen and valued and protected, because that's definitely something that was something I didn't feel like I could do for like a long time, or feel like anybody could really hold like space for me to be able to do that growing up, and that was really important to me. I feel like I could do that for other people really well, to like be that space for them, and to like hold their secrets. Also, I forget secrets sometimes too, but but to like hold that for them. But I feel like I didn't like have that for me. But I think just like even like with the family that like we're building, being able to like communicate my feelings and not just like shut down is something that like I'm like actively like working on. With my mom, she doesn't shut down. She actually like blows up. So there's that. So I try also not to do that. Actually, I don't know what my dad looks like when he's mad. I have a really good relationship with him, so it's not like he's not in my life. But I don't know what it looks like when he's mad, actually. But for me, it's shutting down. I think that's just being like the oldest, never really like, for me, having like the space to be like upset, because like I was supposed to be like the role model. So like I just like shut down. So I try like to not shut down. I think I just like shut down like automatically, but I try to like shut down less, or to give like the response time is a little faster each time. So I can definitely like say that as far as like our relationship. And I think that Leslie just like gives me the space to like heal in certain areas. Like it's not like he takes the things that like I say to him and be like throws it back in my face, like the next time, like and that's why when you said this, and he like throws it back. Like the day he does that I will. No, you don't even know what I'm about to say. I will like disintegrate into a pool of tears. I was like, you just. I don't even know what I would. I would just like implode. So, yeah, cause yeah. What about you, babe?
Well, first, yes, I resonate with a lot of the things that you said about it, just like growing up and not having the space to feel things. I think you said something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dave, you mentioned something similar to that to us, like just growing up with three. There's just three of y'all.
Mm-hmm. Also the oldest, like
Also
you
the
rock
oldest,
said,
right?
you know.
Now for me, this is book. I walked away just because I had to try to find that book. That's been hitting. It hit me like a wrecking ball. Like shout out to Miley Cyrus.
Is that the name of the book?
No, the name of the book it's called. I had to look it up. It's called Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. It says how to, and then there's a subtitle. It says how to heal from distant, rejecting, or self-involved parents. Now this book should come with
Disclaimer?
a disclaimer that says you need to also have a therapy in line with this book, because I think the more like the older I get, the more I'm starting to learn my parents, like learn my family, and like learn more about them. And growing up, I didn't know emotions as a child. Like we just never talked about it. So if you're mad, you're just mad. Like nobody ever said that you're mad. Like but because I mean, you can't yell at your parents, or you can't say that you're mad. Like then nobody ever talked about their feelings. You keep it to yourself and you keep it pushing. So I think that has shown up early when we were dating. Like when I would feel something and I don't know how to say it. Like my favorite word was weird. Like I feel weird. Like and then she would be like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like I don't know. It's just weird. So when I think about the family that we're creating and potentially having a child, it's like, man, like how do I want to communicate, and do I want to be able to communicate how I'm feeling to Roxanne, also to them as well. Because the book is talking about how our parents can be emotionally immature, and it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm saying my parents is emotionally immature, but it's like,
Mom, please don't listen to this.
and I love my parents so much, right? So I gotta send this to my sister, and my brother, because I'm like, it makes so much sense, and it talks about how sometimes like your parents can feel these things and they don't know how to communicate it, and it comes out in different ways. Sometimes they may be mad and they might lash out. Sometimes they may reject you. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate this, so I'm just gonna go to work. And how it impacts us as children, right? Because it talks about one of the things, and like half that book is highlighted because I'm like, oh my goodness, because it talks about how as children we now have to try to figure out how our parents is feeling, because they're not telling us, right? But we're kids, so we don't know how to process it. But it's like, man, we're looking at our parents and we can feel something is wrong, and we try to find a safe space in our parents, who's the adult, but they are emotionally immature and they can't communicate with us. So then we're trying to guess, like, man, like, are they mad at me, or are they like, did I do something wrong? But they're just mad. And all I did was put the ketchup in the wrong place, and then now they're going off. So then now we internalize this, and you grow up, now you're an adult, and you are having issues at work trying to figure out, man, like, is my boss mad because it's me, or you know what I mean? So the book has been wrecking my life for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And I say all of that to say, I think the older I get, and as I'm learning more feelings and learning more words, I'm kind of like putting those, like playing back my childhood with those filters on, and trying to understand that, man, like, that's why those things happen, and that's why I feel these things. How do I now build those relationships with my siblings that were, because for us, I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. We were close, but we were also individual. Like, I lived my life, they lived their life, and you know what I mean? Unless there was a common ground for my brother, and it was like we played sports. And for my sister, is like I would try to find common grounds, but it's like you can really just live in a home and it's just you and you feel alone, but there's other people in the house. But like the book was mentioning, all of that comes from having emotionally immature parents, because you can be there, but physically, but emotionally you're isolated, right? So I try to not let that be the case with Roxanne and I. So I try to learn how to communicate things. Like, man, I feel either betrayed, I feel disappointed, I feel sad, I feel whatever the case may be, right? And hopefully the prayer is when, one day if we have a child, that I'm emotionally mature, right? Yeah. When that time comes, so that they can not go through the same things that my siblings and my parents. And there's a whole reason why somebody ends up being emotionally immature. And I know a lot of the background of how my parents grew up, so there's a lot of grace and a lot of love there, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a lot of things that they couldn't give, right? So
like we said earlier, they're also adulting with no handbook, so adulting parenting, so
Yeah, I think Brianna mentioned something in our first episode. She was like,
she said they're still growing too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my
God. I was like, wow, that hit me. Yeah, they're still growing too. They never did this before.
Yeah, shout out Brianna.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, babe.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good question. And yeah, I can relate to that. I think one of the blessings is like, even with our parents and the way that they were, hopefully the goal is to do an even better job than what they could have done. The time is different. We have more knowledge and not wasting it, right? And that's what I kind of always think about too. Like, even you being intentional reading that book, like you saw that there was a lack in something or you wanted to work on something. And so you were intentional as far as like finding a book to learn more about why you feel so deeply about it. So I'm here for it. It sounds like 2025, we are really working on ourselves.
Yeah. That's it. We outside 2025. Or maybe inside. I don't
know. We're making the most of it.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Yes. And that's kind of how the podcast came to be. I think we are all navigating life. Yeah. We going to work. We working on our hobbies. We got careers. We working out. We got our health. We got our friends. We got our families. And we're just navigating life. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come and do life with us. Like I said, the whole goal of the podcast is to have people that are in our lives to be able to have dinner together, eat food, and just talk.
Shout out to Roxanne. That food was in.
All right. She made some curry, y'all.
Ooh, let's talk about it, actually. We're going to put y'all on the spot.
Uh-oh.
How was the food? Like, we need detailed breakdown and review of this food that my wife made.
So we can start with the plating. Excellent job, from the get-go, as soon as it was put there, visually appealing and stimulating, really calling your name out. Yep. So plating, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Right. So what was on the plate? Where it was chicken curry. It was like a Thai chicken curry.
Babe, talk to
with
us.
some white rice. The white rice was cooked to perfection with some asparagus. Asparagus was seasoned really well. I'm still learning how to make asparagus, so shout out to you, Roxanne, because mine, we're not going to talk about it, but it was really good. The meatballs, did you make that from scratch? Wow. We can tell. It was good. They were nice and juicy. I might need a recipe. So.
And I love curries, and it was very good. So I would definitely give it 5 out of 5 on taste scale too.
And they brought us dessert as well.
Shout out Publix.
But it was a fancy cake. It was banana dulce. I don't want to shout out public. I'm going to shout out to my bakery instead. But, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'm just playing. But it was really good. And they paired it with some sparkling guava water, which David really enjoyed. And it was really good. So thank y'all.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank y'all.
Fired up.